All right, today I'm talking about calling sequences. I'm kind of in my car, so this is gonna have to be the best it's got to get. Whew, mercy. Start over. All right, today I'm talking about calling sequences. I know a lot of people. I've reached out to a few people, starting out. They're really edgy about their calling sequences, how they call, why they call, what they call, whatever. Like it's some big secret, and they want to kill more dogs than everybody else, which there's enough dogs to go around. So yeah, knowledge is power. I'd rather not be that condescending prick who doesn't share anything. So all I'm gonna do is help somebody out. So my main calling sequence, what my go-to is, if I've been to the area, never been to it, regardless. I will change it up every now and then, but my main calling sequence, I'll start out with about 3.5 to 4 minutes of a prey distress. My favorite go-tos, as far as Lucky Duck. So I have the Lucky Duck Roughneck. It's dope, it's awesome. Picked it up at verminatorpc.com. Rick over there, he does great. I'll throw the link in the bio, or in the description, I guess. But go-to is about 4 minutes of prey distress. Now, I like to use something that has a little bit of a high pitch, not much of a scream, but just a high pitch distress. So like Cotton Ball on Lucky Duck. It's got good ones, Lucky Cottontail and Barn Burner. They have almost like a whistle, kind of almost in the distress itself. Woodpecker, their sounds are great. Lucky Pecker, that's one of my go-tos. I'll keep it on. Now the volume settings go to, I think, 32. I've never had to use it above like 28, 25 even, ever. I use it on gain 3. My presets are Lucky Cottontail, Lucky Pecker, and then Pup Distress on the third one. Real easy remote, real easy to set up, real easy to use. Has day and night mode. You have 10 different brightness settings with the Roughneck. I don't know about the Revolt, Revolution, any of that. But after about 4 minutes of distress, I go to a interrogation howl, and it's usually female. They tend to kick up more vocally with a female interrogation. I'll let that play out for about a minute, depending on the interrogation howl itself. But typically 4 or 5 howls and barks and little yips and everything else. I pause it. I'll wait about 4 minutes. If I don't hear anything, nothing, no howl, no bark, no nothing, I'll kick a different distress if I don't see anything. Now if you see something, continue to play the same distress that you're playing. Dogs do not like it when you change it up and they're already coming into that sound. Now if you see a dog and they've hung up, they've stopped, easily, as gently as you can, change that sound to something more appeasing. Find the sound they want. But my second go around, I usually play Lucky Pecker instead of distress like the first time, and play that for about 3 minutes, 3.5. Stop it. I don't hear anything, nothing. I'll wait about 5 minutes instead of 3. Then I'll kick up Mom and Pup Serenade. Typically, most of the time, they'll kick up with a Mom and Pup Serenade. Now, right about this point, it's about 18 minutes. If they kick up, I'll wait about 4 or 5 minutes. No sounds, no nothing. Don't howl back at them. I'll play like a pup whine or a whimper, and that'll usually get paternal, maternal instincts kicked in, and typically they'll, break off from where they're at and come check it out. Sometimes you can play a scene. So like say I walk in, this is another one I use. I'll come in, do a female interrogation howl from the get-go. If I don't hear anything, I'll continue with, a little distress, something small, a whimper, and I'll keep it on a low volume, about 10 or 11, and for about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, pause it, give it 2 minutes of silence, kick up a Mom and Pup Serenade. Typically, most of the time, they'll kick up on a Mom and Pup Serenade. After that, I don't have any sounds. After about 3 minutes of silence, I'll do a whimper or a whine, just a little bit louder. And I'll stop about 2 minutes if I don't see anything. And then I'll do like a coyote fight, or like a den pillage, pup pillage, something like that, den assault, something like that, I think that's what it's called. When an alpha dog gets a hold of a pup, start tearing it apart, that usually get them, maternal, paternal instinct kicked in. If that doesn't work, give it about 5-6 minutes of silence and just hit a prey distress. A lot of these dogs, they get educated pretty quick. You got to change up a lot every now and then, but it's pretty simple, but it's hard at the same time. My stands don't go over 30-35 minutes. If they do, it's because I'm hung up on a dog and I'm just trying to do everything I can, not calling over and over. I'm just trying to think about how I'm going to get him to, you know, break off from where he's at. He's hung up. He sees or hears something he don't like. What can I do? Now, if you're going to the properties all the time, same properties using the same sequence, you need to change it up. They educate quick. They know what that sound is. If you shoot one, they are going to know what that sound is related to, and it's related to getting shot at. I played something the other day. It was Fawn Distress, and I had a dog come out. He skylined himself. He was on top of a hill. House is behind him. I didn't drop the hammer on him. He never broke off that hill, and he went back to where he came from about his own business. But if they hear something different, they'll usually come check it out, and they'll usually give you a better shot to, you know, get them to commit. But if they're hung up, they won't move. I had a female dog do this about 2 weeks ago. She was at 450 yards, wouldn't move, wouldn't budge, got up, sat down right beside where she was just at, barked at me, got up, moved, sat down, barked at me. I was playing Psycho Jack, just something different. There's no jackrabbits here, but it's a distress. It's something different. It you know, perks their ears, and they're like, what the hell was that? But she was listening to it, didn't know what it was, couldn't figure it out. I paused it, waited about 10 seconds. I played Lucky Cottontail, and she came into that on a string. She cleared that 400-something yards in about a minute. And the closer she got, I just eased that volume down. And that piqued her interest more, thinking, you know, something's got a hold of a rabbit. I want it. Coyotes are natural thieves. They want to steal everything. So I turned it down, turned it down, turned it down. I was following her the whole time. I stayed on her. And she got about 40 yards from me, hung up at the field fence, and I, you know, gave her a bus ticket to go meet her maker. And that was that. But a lot of times these dogs, they like what's going on, but they don't like it enough to commit. If you can just ever so gently and quietly and silently just change that sound, change it to something, watch them, watch what they're doing when you hear the sound, when they hear the sound. Just watch it, watch what's going on, watch how they react. You will learn so much more just from watching them than you will killing them, if that makes any sense. The best feeling ever, just like that, is just getting a stubborn dog to commit. I'm watching her the whole time, and these remotes are so easy to work, you literally don't even have to look at them. And if you do, the night mode, I'll just go ahead and kick it up for you. I don't know if you'll be able to see it good or not with the flash on in here. Always turn the call on before you turn your remote on. It's a nice load up screen here. I'm gonna try to turn this brightness up. It'll find your caller. Well, did I turn that thing on? I didn't. Go ahead and cut that remote back off. Got the call on. That's my booger up on that one. Come on now. Find your collar. It's usually relatively quick. There it is. So turn your brightness up. There's your brightness. I mean, you can literally comb through these sounds like it's nothing. I don't even have to look through it. And if I did have to, with this red and black background, with it being on night mode, you cut that daggum brightness all the way down. It's so nice because I can just sit here and look at the dog, glance down, look back, and then I can adjust my volume, etc. Batteries run pretty good. I've got an Ambush 360 battery pack in my Roughneck just because it takes 10 AA's, and the Ambush 360 pack was 135, and it's good for like 5 days. Comes with its own charger and everything. It's dope. Christopher Yazzie is in charge of that. He's a good dude. But Roughneck, the distance as far as that goes is about 100 yards if you're remote to your call. I usually keep it in with like 60, 50. I usually throw it off on a flank so they come in and I can, you know, hit them on the side, get their attention away from me. I never go directly straight out. It's always off to one side or the other, depending on the terrain. Situation will always dictate. Circumstance takes priority. You know, you get the point. But I'll throw a video up whenever I get back to the house about my setup. what I use, when I use it, why I use it. Like it. Sometimes I stand up, sometimes I lay down, sometimes I sit, sometimes I kneel. You know, it just changes. A lot of guys, they don't like sharing their sequences. Why? I don't know. It's stupid, it's ignorant, it's selfish. But if I can help you out, I'm going to do the best I can. And yeah, see y'all next time.